Alright, what's good, y'all? This your boy J.C.A. Reactions, back once again with another Death Battle speed marathon, Death Battle speed watch. And next Death Battle video I'm about to get into is Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna, Marvel versus DC. Y'all already know. And I know about Scarlet, but I do not know the other person. But y'all know how I do. We gonna check out the stats. We gonna make a fair assessment. We gonna make a logical bet, and hopefully my character be the one that win. If not, that's another L. Your boy they'll put on this chart. And like I said, if Death Battle ain't changed nothing up too crazy, and when they get to the half point of the Death Battle, half point of the season, I'm gonna rally up the win-loss ratio. If I got more wins, y'all gotta do something. If I win, I'm in the clear. But if I'm not, if I have more losses than wins, then I'm gonna have to make a punishment video. Y'all come up with the punishment or whatever, just make sure it ain't too crazy. And then I'm gonna drop that video before hopefully sooner than later, whenever I get all these Death Battle videos out. But until then, we go ahead and tally up these wins, because y'all ain't finna give me. Alright, so without further ado, about to give out this content strictly for me to you. Let's get it.
God Cthulhu, who attempted to turn Wanda into his future vessel.
Reminds me of my summers by the sea with old Uncle Yogg-Sothoth.
In time, Wanda discovered she could alter the probability of anything she could think of, turning a mathematical impossibility into an absolute certainty, and vice versa. Wanda's powers kept growing and growing, turning her into a being strong enough to rival even the mightiest of gods. Like, literally, Wanda's chaos magic is counterpart to the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of cosmic order. You know, that fiery
Bet you can
space
beat
that
Thanos.
can destroy the universe? Wanda fought it, and even briefly erased it from existence.
At her height, the Scarlet Witch achieved total control over energy, the weather, the elements, your mind, your body, your soul, all of time, all of matter, and all of reality. She can wipe you from existence with a thought and rend the very fabric of the universe as though it were tissue paper.
She isn't even limited to chaos magic either. They might not have been what made her a god, but the High Evolutionary's experiments did make her more receptive to channeling magical energy. Oh, maybe that's why Mama Boomstick always warned me about redheads.
She's so receptive, in fact, that Wanda is the lone nexus being of the 616 reality, a focal point for the universe's magical energies, and one that belongs equally to all other timelines.
It's no wonder she was considered a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, shit, why wasn't she? She might as well be a walking, talking Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, she may have the power of a god, but she's still stuck with a human's body that can be overpowered by physically stronger foes. Though, she also survived being shot with a black matter bullet capable of, and I quote, world-shattering energy. So there's that.
Black matter
She
bullet.
does technically need to be able to think of a spell in order to get it to happen, so she could theoretically be blitzed, but she's also blocked Thor's galaxy-crossing hammer, kept up with dudes like X-Man, who can fight within flank time, and even amp her own speed beyond the concept of speed herself.
Despite being far and away the mightiest among Earth's mightiest heroes, Wanda resented the pressure of her incredible power. She actually wanted a quiet life as a wife and a mother.
What
But
reason?
because no one in comics is allowed to
I still
have
ain't
a
seen
happily ever
WandaVision.
after, that life
Y'all
was
let me know
taken
if there's
from
any
her
good
by
to watch.
literal Satan. Not the last time he
Or
knew
if it's
this
even
dude,
canon to the
Wanda
timeline.
snapped, and she took the multiverse with her.
By tapping into an inconceivable and unknowable pool of energy known as the Life Force, Wanda rewrote all of reality, creating a new universe where life was just how she wanted it.
No matter whose life she had to change, in this House of M, she had her family back, but at the cost of her sanity.
And it wasn't long before it all came crashing down around her. Once her family and friends discovered the lie of their new lives and turned against her, she uttered 3 fateful words and erased nearly all of mutant kind. No more mutants.
Wanda weaved her magic throughout all of existence, created cracks across reality which spread throughout the Omniverse, and threatened to annihilate all of creation, the entirety of Marvel's infinite cosmology. Everything that ever was.
Shit got dark, and while Wanda has work to checked since then, that threat is always there.
If she was in Dragon Ball
That
Super,
sounds
she would
more
be
like a problem for anyone
terrible.
who's stupid enough to get in her way.
Both a blessing and a curse, a help
There
and
don't
a
be no
hex.
need for
Such is
God
the true
destruction.
power of the Scarlet Witch.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by the Northman.
And here we go with this again.
Come all to see the magnificent Zatanna Zatara, for never was there a greater professor of prestidigital performance.
A.K.A. Magic! Except Zatanna's spells aren't just
Zatanna.
smoke and mirrors, they're the real deal. So you're really getting your money's worth.
She learned everything she knew from her father, Giovanni Zatara, who put his powers to good use as one of DC's very first superheroes.
No joke, he's the guy who taught Batman everything he knows about escape artistry. He debuted the same issue as Superman, and the young Zatanna was more than happy to serve as his assistant, learning everything he knew about the cutthroat world of entertainment. Oh, and Cape shit too, but the former is way worse.
She inherited her father's incredible mystical abilities as well. Essentially, anything Zatanna thinks of, she can make real. And she focuses this absurdly powerful ability by speaking her desired effects.
So she's basically a fairly odd parent.
Her father based this technique on the diaries of Leonardo da Vinci, who some theorize wrote backwards in order to hide his ideas from the repressive medieval Catholic Church.
Or because he was left-handed.
Yeah, that's another theory, if you hate fun.
And Zatanna's apparently big-brained enough that she has no problem speaking backwards at the drop of a hat. Like when this one dude kept reversing time in the middle of her sentences, she started speaking in palindromes so that she'd still be speaking backwards no matter what. I mean, you know what they say with, go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hug.
With her magic, Zatanna has bent the laws of reality to her whims. She's transmuted matter on an atomic level, teleported across dimensions, commanded the elements, turned invisible, removed powers, cast illusions, read and controlled minds, traveled through and stopped time, and can even wipe people from existence with a single word.
It might not seem obvious from that hokey magic castle getup, but Zatanna is one of the most powerful sorcerers in DC. Like the time she battled the Time Tailor Zor, an old enemy of the Spectre. You know, the Angel of God's divine wrath.
In order to defeat an opponent of such unimaginable power, Zatanna focused her magical might into shattering the boundaries of reality. She reached out beyond the very comic panels themselves and pulled Zor's entire magical universe down around him. She literally handled all of reality like it was a sheet of paper.
Why they got a
and
position
crumpled it
like
in
that?
her hands.
That might seem completely incomprehensibly impossible to us, but it's all a matter of belief. Literally. As long as Zatanna believes she can do something with her magic, she'll do it.
As she puts it, her magic is essentially asserting one reality, then replacing it with another. This is similar to other magical characters like Dr. Fate and Green Lantern, whose powers have been stated to work the exact same way.
But it's not like any rando can do magic by wishing on a star. Zatanna is genetically predisposed to this kind of magical reality warping. Her mom was in actuality a homo magi, a subrace of humans that are naturally adept at magic.
So it's no wonder that Zatanna became an invaluable member of both the Justice League of America and Justice League Dark. The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
Zatanna harnessed an entire year's worth
what?
of sunlight into a single energy blast.
Hold on, I gotta see that.
And Justice League
You got my
Dark.
nigga Shadow into it.
The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
Zatanna harnessed an entire year's worth of sunlight into a single energy blast, created ruptures across all of space.
I was side with this character based off that comparison
and has
alone.
even claimed she's as powerful as Superman himself.
I'm not, I'm just saying.
Pre-Crisis Superman, in case you were wondering. Her only limit is her imagination and will. In fact, her backward speaking is mostly a stagecraft tradition meant to boost her concentration.
In a pinch, she can cast a spell with a single thought, and I doubt anyone's winning a quick draw with her. She's matched superheroes like Martian Manhunter, who's scanned every mind on Earth in a blank instant. Or how about Dr. Fate, whose magic traveled across the universe at the completely immeasurable velocity of God?
Zatanna has
Yeah,
fended off
we remember that,
countless
though, bro.
reality-shattered threats like the Eldritch Upside Down Man, Primordial Darkness, that is evil incarnate, and the Void Beyond Creation, Proliant.
This Shadow Goop
I
lady
wonder if I
beat
want
all
that
of
bit,
DC
then I think about
Comics,
it.
all of creation, everything. God, demons, rabbits, and spandex, everything. And Zatanna's magic was strong enough to hold her back.
And then, after secretly implanting Swamp Thing inside Goliath, she weaved a spell within him to literally regrow all of reality back in seconds.
Zatanna tricked a being older than God and then blew her ass up from the inside with a whole new omniverse. Abraca goddamn Dabra.
Such is the almighty power of Zatanna's will. Should it falter though, or should her focus be disrupted, it could all come crashing down like a house of cards. Belief is a fragile thing after all, and her powers were weakened for a time after she lost belief in herself.
And she's definitely got one big weak point. She's a huge daddy's girl.
Despite her amazing career, she has struggled within herself to live up to her father's legacy, especially after
Well, then Scarlet Witch might more likely be able to win.
Has died a lot of
I
times.
think Scarlet Witch might be able to do a little bit more than her.
Especially after dating John Constantine. Oh, I can just smell the lager and self-loathing from here. No, wait, that's me.
Questionable romance aside, Zatanna is a consummate professional raised on one singular principle. The show must go on, and she'll always finish strong with a standing ovation.
Alright, Zatanna.
This show is sponsored
Zatanna,
by BetterHelp
yeah.
Online Therapy.
Relationships are hard and confusing. Abilities. Hit .com/deathbattle.
All right,
Yeah, I got my money on Scarlet.
From the data to all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle with magic.
Got my money on Scarlet. Come on now.
Oh, thank you. And for my first trick, ta-da! You, what sort of two-bit sorceress do you think you are? Two-bit? Perhaps I was being generous.
Alright, a little child's play. What? I know she can manipulate people, but even create people from inside paper. Well, they both can manipulate, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Do you know the difference between you and I? Power! Well, I think the difference is
It's too soon.
presentation! And I know a trick when I see one.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Universes. You can't run forever. Now make like a magician and disappear!
Yeah, they doing too much too soon, bro. She still did it. She still won.
A disappearing act was the first thing that ever taught me. And for my final trick, swish it no more witches. And that's our show, ladies and germs.
Another loss.
To die for.
Bro, this ain't
This
looking
matchup
good
was
for me.
like walking on a tightrope. It could fall either way at any point.
Because at the end of the day, both these ladies could do basically anything with their magic. All
This is
they
not
had to
looking
do
good
was
for me.
think and shit would happen. They were totally even. At her peak, Wanda was able to threaten the stability of all creation.
And at Zatanna's best, she was able to hold back Prolaya, who could do the exact same thing.
Right, I was just about to say they can both do that.
The omniversal cosmologies of Marvel and DC Comics are roughly equivalent in size and scope. All that was left for us to look at was their weaknesses.
While both were as powerful as one another, Wanda needed to tap into the life force to reach that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Well, let's take a closer look at the events surrounding House of M, where Wanda's powers were at their maximum.
Despite admitting that she was way stronger, Doctor Strange managed to get the best of Wanda with a cool head and a spell that briefly knocked her out cold.
His wits against her mental instability were enough to turn the tide.
To be clear, this instability definitely wouldn't affect her power. She was still strong enough to create a completely new alternate reality and then erase it just as easily. What it would do is leave her open.
Also, take her No More Mutant spell. As insanely powerful as it was to affect the whole of Marvel's creation,
She was manipulated.
it wasn't entirely successful. There was still a tiny portion of Earth's mutant population left unaffected, likely due to interference from Strange and Emma Frost.
Against Zatanna, who was just as strong and not losing her mind, she wouldn't be able to afford that kind of lapse, even for an instant.
On the other hand, Zatanna has managed to maintain her willpower fighting foes just as strong as the Scarlet Witch, so she didn't have the same kind of exploitable weakness.
And remember, she doesn't actually
Besides from
need
afar.
to say her spells backwards.
It helps with her concentration, but all her spells come from her mental impulses, just like Wanda. She's consistently pulled off non-verbal spells in the past, even against beings as strong as Prolaya.
In the end, Z definitely had enough experience fighting smart and keeping on her toes to hang with Wanda long enough to get in a finishing blow.
While there were definitely versions of this battle that could have ended with Wanda victorious, Zatanna's cooler head and effortless magic allowed her to prevail.
I guess you could say Wanda never saw it coming, and Zatanna makes him off turf.
I still can't believe I'm 2 losses in already. This is bull. I'm 2 losses in already. I already know the third one already out. Who that supposed to be? Come on, Roger. Alright. Jonathan Joestar versus Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I want to put my money on my boy Tanjiro, but seem like putting money on my favorites or put my money on people who I at least know. It ain't really doing nothing for me, man. So I might have to be this loyal to my boy Tanjiro. But as y'all can see, your boy is clearly not doing well. It's definitely been a long time since I did these death battles. Cause normally I'll be in tip top form, bro. But oh well. Alright, y'all. That's my reaction to the death battle. If y'all like this reaction, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all let me know y'all ideas on the punishment. If I remember, majority wins, no punishment. Majority losses, punishment. So y'all let me know what kind of punishment y'all think your boy should do. Y'all also let me know what other videos, or matter of fact, just strike up a conversation who y'all thought was gonna win, or who y'all thought should have won, and I'll check y'all out on that video. Peace.